Caitlin Clark's golf debut just made me so upset with the WNBA because the LPGA just did everything that the WNBA should have been doing this season. Caitlin Clark just shook the world of women's sports, but it wasn't on the basketball court. Her stunning debut at an LPGA Pro-Am sparked a frenzy, leaving fans and critics stunned. From this event, I have only seen and heard of positive things. I didn't hear one thing about how her fans are toxic. I didn't hear one thing about there being too much spotlight on Caitlin Clark and it should have maybe been on the professional golfers that are there. We didn't hear any of that. While the LPGA treated her like a queen, the WNBA's silence was deafening. What's going on behind the scenes? I honestly just got so triggered by Caitlin Clark's golf debut, and it is no fault of hers that I got upset. It is the fault of the WNBA because the LPGA. Caitlin Clark has become a household name, not just for her dominance in the WNBA, but now for her surprise performance in golf. Her participation in the LPGA Pro-Am wasn't just an ordinary celebrity appearance. It became an event that captured national attention. Fans poured in by the thousands, demanding the tournament be televised, and when it was, the LPGA hit the jackpot. They didn't just feature Caitlin. They turned her into the centerpiece of the entire event. In a previous video, how this Pro-Am event originally wasn't even going to be televised, but there were so many fans who were emailing the organization saying, "How can we watch Caitlin? Can we come to the event? Can you live stream it?" All these things, and it ended up being put on television. Let's break it down. The LPGA didn't just stumble upon this opportunity, they planned it meticulously. They paired Caitlin with Nelly Korda, the #1 ranked golfer in the world. Think about it. The biggest name in women's basketball alongside the top golfer. That's not coincidence. That's marketing brilliance. Photos of Caitlin and Nelly dominated social media, creating a buzz that extended far beyond golf enthusiasts. Fans from basketball, golf, and beyond were hooked. Great, fans were really excited about that. There was so much buzz online, she was trending on Twitter, all of the things. And the LPGA was promoting the crap out of this event. And they also did something really smart by pairing her up with their currently. Meanwhile, the WNBA, the league that helped launch Caitlin into superstardom, stayed silent. They didn't tweet, post, or acknowledge Caitlin's success on the golf course. Fans noticed. People started asking, why isn't her own league celebrating this massive moment? It was a glaring missed opportunity, especially when the LPGA proved how much star power Caitlin could bring to a sport. Korda. So there are photos of Caitlin and Nelly literally everywhere. And the LPGA was so smart in doing this because they knew that there would be so many eyeballs on Caitlin. So if they put their #1 golfer, who is currently leading the sport and pushing the sport ahead, if they put her next to Caitlin for the entire event, that's just great. It's great for Nelly and it's great for everyone else. And it wasn't just the LPGA taking advantage of Caitlin's star status. Media outlets jumped on the story. SportsCenter, Bleacher Report, and countless others covered her every move at the event. From her swings to her interactions with fans, everything Caitlin did became newsworthy. The LPGA capitalized on every moment, showcasing not only Caitlin, but also their top golfers. It was a win-win. Contrast that with the WNBA. Throughout Caitlin's rookie season, fans felt the league wasn't doing enough to promote her. Despite her incredible performances and the undeniable Caitlin Clark effect on viewership, the league seemed hesitant to fully embrace her stardom. Critics argued that the WNBA was trying too hard to spread the spotlight evenly, even when it was clear Caitlin was the main attraction. This hesitancy became even more apparent during the LPGA Pro-Am. While the LPGA leaned into Caitlin's popularity, the WNBA's silence was deafening. Fans took to social media to voice their frustrations. Many pointed out that this was exactly what they'd been saying all season. The WNBA wasn't doing enough to capitalize on Caitlin's star power. But why would the WNBA hold back? Some believe it's because the league is cautious about promoting one player too heavily. There's a fear that focusing on Caitlin could overshadow other players or create resentment within the league. Others argue it's a missed opportunity rooted in outdated marketing strategies. Whatever the reason, the contrast between the LPGA's approach and the WNBA's silence was stark. The LPGA's success with Caitlin wasn't just about marketing, it was about creating a moment. They understood that having Caitlin participate in their event wasn't just good for her, it was good for women's golf. By pairing her with Nelly Korda and promoting their interactions, the LPGA elevated their entire sport. Fans who had never watched golf before were suddenly tuning in, merchandise sales reportedly spiked, and social media engagement soared. Caitlin, for her part, embraced the moment. She signed autographs, posed for photos, and even joked about her skills, or lack thereof, on the golf course. Fans loved it. It humanized her in a way that few athletes managed to achieve. The LPGA capitalized on this, sharing videos and photos of Caitlin interacting with fans and players alike. Meanwhile, the WNBA's silence became louder with each passing day. Fans started comparing the two organizations, and the WNBA didn't come out looking good. Many argued that the league had fumbled one of its biggest opportunities to showcase its players on a global stage. This isn't the first time fans have criticized the WNBA for its marketing strategy. Throughout Caitlin's rookie season, there were moments where the league seemed hesitant to give her the spotlight. Despite her record-breaking performances and the undeniable boost she brought to viewership, Caitlin wasn't always featured prominently in league promotions. Critics argued that the WNBA was trying too hard to avoid favoritism, even when it was clear Caitlin was a major draw. The LPGA Pro-Am highlighted just how much the WNBA could learn from other organizations. The LPGA didn't hesitate to make Caitlin the star of the show. They understood that her presence brought attention not just to her, but to the entire sport. And by embracing that, they created a win-win situation for everyone involved. For Caitlin, the event was more than just a chance to play golf. It was a moment to connect with fans in a new way. And for the LPGA, it was an opportunity to showcase the potential of women's sports to attract mainstream attention. The WNBA, on the other hand, missed out. By staying silent, they let the LPGA control the narrative. Fans couldn't help but wonder what could have been if the WNBA had embraced Caitlin's success in the same way. And that brings us to the bigger question. What does this mean for the future of women's sports? Caitlin Clark has shown that star power can transcend individual sports and bring attention to women's athletics as a whole. But for that to happen, leagues need to embrace those moments and seize every opportunity to promote their players. The LPGA proved that it's possible. The WNBA now has a choice. Learn from this moment and start embracing its stars, or risk falling behind. The LPGA Pro-Am event featuring Caitlin Clark not only showcased her versatility as an athlete, but also raised critical questions about how leagues handle their stars. As the event's ripple effects continued, the backlash toward the WNBA grew louder. If you liked the video, then please give it a like and also subscribe to the channel. So let's move ahead towards the video. Fans, analysts, and fellow athletes began questioning why the WNBA seemed reluctant to capitalize on Caitlin Clark's star power, especially when the LPGA demonstrated how it could be done. Caitlin's impact at the LPGA event wasn't a fluke. It was a carefully crafted strategy. Pairing her with Nelly Cordes showcased two powerhouse athletes, drawing fans from basketball and golf alike. The strategy worked brilliantly, generating significant buzz on social media. Meanwhile, the WNBA's silence was noticeable. The league didn't acknowledge Caitlin's participation or promote the event on its platforms, leaving fans and analysts frustrated. Critics pointed out that while the WNBA emphasizes collective talent, this approach limits the creation of iconic figures like Caitlin, who could bring new audiences to the sport. Throughout her rookie WNBA season, Caitlin proved she's a generational talent, consistently drawing viewership and creating viral moments. However, the league's lack of promotional efforts for her felt like a missed opportunity. In contrast, the LPGA fully embraced her star power, leveraging her appeal to introduce golf to new fans and create a highly successful event. The LPGA's marketing strategy, including social media highlights, interviews, and live broadcasts, elevated not just Caitlin but the entire sport. This stark contrast sparked a broader conversation about how women's sports are marketed and the importance of celebrating individual stars alongside collective talent. The LPGA's success also highlighted the value of cross-sport collaborations. By featuring Caitlin, the LPGA reached a new audience and boosted engagement, merchandise sales, and viewership. This left fans and analysts urging the WNBA to rethink its marketing strategy and embrace similar opportunities. Caitlin Clark's journey is a reminder of the power of star athletes to transcend their sports and inspire new generations. For the WNBA, this moment offers a chance to reevaluate its approach and celebrate its brightest stars effectively. Will the league seize this opportunity and rise to the occasion? Fans remain hopeful, but only time will tell. Thanks for watching. Subscribe the channel.